is News Channel 7. This is Friday Night Football.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome into the final Friday Night Football of the season, a playoff edition to send you out on. How about this? Oddly enough, after Eagle hosted Capital last week, the two would turn around right again and play each other this week. Now, the Mustangs got the best of that matchup 7 days ago, so could the Eagles pull the upset when it mattered most? This time it was win or go home. We pick it up in the second quarter. Eagle was driving. That is until Jackson Reed and Tanner Leaf come up with a big sack on third down. Now that would push the Mustangs back, but not back far enough. Austin Frisk sneaks a 35-yard field goal over the crossbar to make it 31-21 Eagle. Capital would try to drive right before halftime. Carson Bonning attempts to stretch the field, but it's the Eagle defender that comes down with it. Now, they actually ruled incomplete, but replay shows he got his hands under that thing. Should have been a pick. Eagle sacrifices some field position, and the Eagles take advantage. Parlez-vous français? Well, just a little, but nobody needs translation here. J.C. French gets the takedown on Mason McHugh to end the second quarter. On to the second half now. The super sophomore goes back to work through the air. Cam Churchill dragging the defender down the sideline. Finally, he goes down inside the red zone. Later on that same drive, McHugh dials up Dalton Mayshore for 6. Eagle beats Capital for the second time in as many weeks. They face Rigby next week. By the way, the final of this one, 52-32, kind of a shootout. Mountain View was in action tonight trying to defend their home turf against Lake City. The Timberwolves came a long way for nothing because the Mavs were ready to roll on the opening drive of the game. Stephen Butler totes the rock across the goal line, tack on the two-point conversion, and Mountain View goes on top 8-zip. LC had a tough time moving the rock. Here, Gus Elwell gets home to force yet another Timberwolves punt. On the very first play of the ensuing possession, Jake Ferris hits KJ Lynch on a slant. He bobbles it for a second, but then secures it and just outraces everyone to the house. This made it 16-0. The Mavs were rolling, and they weren't done scoring. After another 3 and out, Ferris gets back out on the field, and this time he hands it off to Logan Perry. Get off the tracks when the train is coming through. Choo-choo. 22-zip, Mountain View on top. Finally, we're going to show you one more just for good measure. The man that started these highlights finishes them. Yep, the Butler did it. Mountain View shuts out Lake City 58-0. Next up, a trip to Coeur d'Alene. Good luck, Vikings. Guess what? By the way, we got Mountain View on set next. Going to be fun. Post Falls in action, taking on Timberline, hosting Timberline. And, well, here, that's Eli Gondo that runs it in for the first score of the night. But guess what? That's the very final points that you would see out of Post Falls this evening. Timberline quarterback Andy Peters hands it off to Taylor Markham. He had a huge game last week, another big game this week. The touchdown made it 6-7 as they missed the PAT. Now, the Wolves would continue to move the rock. Here it's Peters keeping it himself around the edge, 13-7 in favor of Timberline. Then with 10 seconds left in the first half, the Wolves take a shot. I haven't even seen these highlights, so I'm not sure what happens here, but I think it's good news for Timberline. Oh my goodness, no it's not. Yes it is! Oh my goodness! Nicholas comes down with the grab. 19-7 at halftime, 19-7 the final. Timberline wins their very first playoff game in school history. Next up for them, now they get to take on Rocky Mountain, the top seed. We'll see what they can do, see if they can keep it rolling. Big time win. Good job. Coach Smart, my goodness. All right, up next for you, we got Kuna. They were at home this evening taking on Pocatello. After the Indians punt the ball here, the Cavemen get it. Sean Austin passes to Colton Teeter for the first down. Later on that same drive, Ty Cobb runs it in for a touchdown. Cavemen lead 7-zip. The students pumped up after the score, and why wouldn't they be? Their team's perfect on the season and contending for a state title. Okay, Pocatello ball on 3rd and 11. Jaden Downs completes the pass here to Zach Parks for an Indians first down. Nice toss, better grab. Now they would end up punting, and so the next drive, that's Jonathan Edwards that runs it in for a Caveman touchdown. Kuna led 14-0. So going the other way, more problems for Pocatello on offense. They put it on the ground. The Cavemen recover. 2 plays later, Austin finds Tyler Brown for another touchdown. The extra point would be no good. Doesn't really matter at this point because the Cavemen lead 20-0. So the Indians have the ball once again, but it ends in yet another turnover. Jaden Brown's intercepted here by Lance Ray. Picks off the pass, gets taken down. But on the ensuing drive for Kuna on 4th and 11, Austin completes it for Teeter. Kuna would go for 2. After this, they push their lead out to 28-0. They continue to roll from there. 28 more points would follow on offense. 56-27 the final. Kuna remains undefeated on the season, and they will actually face the winner of this very next game. On that note, to the highlights we go. First round matchup between Skyline and Valley View and the 4A state playoffs. A huge loss here for the Grizzlies. On this sack, quarterback Cruz Taylor leaves the game with an injury. Valley View, well, they wouldn't really care. They go to work on offense. Lamb Larison keeps it himself on the QB sneak for the touchdown. Skyline looking to answer. Cade Marlowe rolls out of the pocket. He finds Elijah Johnson, but how about this hit by Kevin Cody? Forces the fumble. The Falcons recover. And, well, down inside the red zone, Larison hands it off to Carson Child. He scores on the jet sweep. Valley View shuts out Skyline. What a dominant first-round matchup here. 41-0 the final. They'll face Kuna next week. But before then, we hear from Lamb Larison.
I think the biggest point of the game was at the beginning. Defense got a few key stops, and then our offense came in with some intensity, got a few good plays. Both sides of the ball were clicking. Skyline was a good team and fought hard, but we fought pretty good and executed the game plan all week from practice and ended up with the W.
All right, up next, Bishop Kelly hosting Canyon Ridge, who made the trip up from Twin Falls tonight. BK quarterback Bo Nelson hands it off here to running back Ian Arellano. He eventually gets forced out of bounds. A little later on that same drive, Arellano breaks a couple of tackles, spins into the end zone for the first score of the game. 7-zip BK on top. Okay, on to the second quarter we go. Nelson fakes the handoff, then decides to just run it in himself. Breaking tacklers, knifing through the defense. Eventually he stops once they give him 6. There was more where that came from for the Knights. Here, Nelson hands it off to running back Jackson Husky. Another solid run. The Knights were tough tonight. He gets knocked out of bounds, and then it's Arellano who just cleans it up from there. He makes a couple of nice cuts, picks up a couple of blocks, and goes virtually untouched into the end zone. BK wins big tonight, 57-7 the final. We'll get to their next round matchup here in just a moment. In the meantime, Nampa in Pocatello taking on Century. The Diamondbacks open up the game with this. A QB keeper for the score by Nathan Manning. Now the Bulldogs would answer right back with a QB keeper of their own, but this one, way more impressive. Donovan Estrada just continues to have a stellar season and an unbelievable high school career, turning this Nampa program around. He scores from 52 yards out. This would end up being a shootout. Last we heard it was 47-41 in the third, and now, Century comes back. They lead by 1 in the fourth quarter. We'll try to get you a final there on this game in just a little bit. See if the Bulldogs can pull it out. They were up by 2 scores. What a game. All right, moving along here. We got Melba. Their cheerleaders ready for the playoffs as well. Pick it up in the second quarter. Their quarterback, Henry Clark, hands the ball off to Scott Martinez. He runs it in for a touchdown. This made it 6-zip in favor of Melba. They go for the 2-point conversion. It's Clark handing the ball off to Easton Brunel, and he scores to make it 8-0. So later in the quarter, Nampa Christian here responds when their quarterback Landon Cheney fakes the handoff and keeps it and runs outside. The 50-yard score made it 8-6. Melba still leading. Shortly after that, it's Melba back to the ground game. It's that Bunel guy. Scored a touchdown earlier in here. He scores another one. Off to the races. Another score for him. It'd be followed by another 2-point conversion, and, Melba would hang 60 on Nampa Christian. They win tonight 60-34. The final. Okay, we do have a few more scores for you here that we want to report because these will be the 5A quarterfinal matchups next week. Mountain View has to travel north. A tough trip up to Coeur d'Alene awaits. As for Bora, following an opening round bye, they host Highland. Timberline back home, kind of. They got to go over to Rocky, but at least the game's in the Treasure Valley. And Eagle Following their opening round win in the state playoffs, they have to travel down and take on Rigby at the 4A level. Middleton, they beat Moscow tonight. They take on Jerome, Valley View, and Kuna. Man, what a battle there amongst some 4A SIC teams. The winner advances to the semifinals. Bishop Kelly, they will play the winner of Nampa and Century. That game is still going on. And finally, Minico and Blackfoot, they will do battle. I think we got one more scoreboard for you here, at least playoff matchup we do. At the 1A D2 level, the quarterfinals, Dietrich and Lighthouse Christian. Cary taking on Murtaugh. And we're still waiting the winner of Garden Valley and Lewis County. They will travel over to Horseshoe Bend for their opening round matchup, or quarterfinals matchup, excuse me. Okay, we've been waiting for this moment. Fresh off a victory tonight, the Mountain View football team, a number of them, join us on set here on Friday Night Football. I always love when we are actually able to get a team on the night they play, because you got a little more juice, a little more energy. KJ, I talked with you earlier in the season, and well, I know you like to talk a little too, buddy. So how big was that opening round victory tonight in the state playoffs?
It was really big, you know. It was good to get, like, we didn't get the bye, but it was nice to start off fast and get rolling and start our path to the state championship.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but I almost feel like it was better you guys played tonight, especially with the way that you played. You got to have a ton of confidence as you got to make a tough trip up north.
Yeah, we do have a lot of confidence. We're just ready. Our offense did some good things tonight. You know, we're rolling, and we're just ready to keep it going.
Offense did some good things tonight. I'll go to you for this one next. What was it about this offensive performance this evening that, from the get-go, you guys just seemed pretty dialed?
Oh, this week we had a great week of practice. You know, you could tell. You know, it's playoff season. We're ready to roll, and I think that you know, the fire that we had this week's gonna carry us on to next week, and we're gonna be ready. You
know, I know that every team kind of goes through injuries and stuff like that, and for the most part, a lot of your playmakers are healthy, but Leighton Smithson goes down early, and I know he was going to be a guy that you guys relied on. Do you guys really seem like it really seems like you're finding your identity right now? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think we have a lot of people, you know, stepping up and making a lot of good plays, and I think that we just have like a lot of depth in our team, and we're gonna practice, work hard, and then we're gonna come out on top.
Yeah. Okay. I got to talk a little defense now. Obviously, Coach Benedict. First off, he's got a defense background. How much fun is it playing for him?
Oh man, it's real fun playing with him. He's not only a great coach, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
He teaches how to be a better man, a better father, and just a better son.
You know, I just find the way that he coaches you guys, it's so interesting, because there are moments where I feel like he could jump down your throat. And they're all teaching moments. They're all learning moments. What it is about his cool, calm demeanor, for the most part, that really hits home with you guys.
It's his tough love. Off the field, he's always grabbing you. He's always telling you how much he loves you, how much he cares about you. There's everything going on at home and all that. Then on the field, it's a whole different man. He's in the zone. He yells at you. It's all tough love, though. You just got to understand that.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you about this, too, because you wear a number that's pretty significant at Mountain View, and it's kind of cool because I've seen this build since I've been here. I mean, it goes all the way back to Jared Gibson, who's having a great college career. Dylan Martinez wore the number 8 and anchored that defense for the last couple of years, and now you get to wear the number 8. How big of an honor is that, especially when you consider those guys right in front of you that wore it?
It's a huge honor, man. It's after when he asked me over in the spring ball, he asked me, and I said, my heart dropped, and I was like, yeah, I'll wear it. You know, I felt really blessed, especially with the past guys that came and how good they're doing right now, and I just feel really honored.
I've kind of always wondered, I mean, it's like wearing 1 at Boise State or something like that. I mean, like, regardless of what number you have, I mean, even if you're attached to it, somebody, if you're asked to wear that, I mean, do you just kick that old number to the side and put on 8? Or
yeah, if someone asks you to wear it, and if it's a special guy, you got to wear it. So you got to wear it with pride.
Yeah. If you know, I know that you guys didn't want me to bring this up, but I'm going to bring it up. A couple weeks ago, you guys host Bora, and in all honesty, it was a tough game. I mean, you guys battled, like KJ. That kickoff return, man. I thought that might do it, man. I thought that put you guys back in the game. Yeah, that was incredible, by the way.
Thank you.
What did you guys learn from that loss, though? And I know that it was a tough game, and I mean, hey, the ball could have bounced either way at times.
Yeah.
But what did you guys take away from that game? And it was a playoff-like game with 2 weeks to go in the regular season.
Yeah, we took a lot from it. Mostly we took that we can we didn't play our best. It was because we weren't playing our game. We weren't being ourselves. And we really, after that game, everyone really just took a look in the mirror and said, like we got to fix it or we're gonna crash. So we got together, you know, and we're here now.
Yeah, you're here now, and then moving on to the quarterfinals of the state playoffs. It's a good place to be. How much can you define your season right now, despite anything and everything that's happened so far? How much is this? These are the coming weeks where you get to define your season. This is the way people will remember you guys.
Yeah, I mean, these next couple weeks are big. I mean, all the season's built up to this, and we just got to take it one week at a time.
I feel like before the season, talking with KJ and a couple of your teammates, they kept preaching about how close this team was, how bonded you guys are. You did so much in the off season, working out together, all that stuff. So how will that help now as you got to make you guys are taking a bus up there, so it's probably going to take 8 hours to get to Coeur d'Alene. How much is that going to help you guys, that brotherly bond, as you go out on the road and playing that cold weather up north? Who knows what's going to happen up there?
I mean, each week we just talk about how much we love each other, and I mean that close, like that bondness that we have. That I mean, it's going to carry us throughout the season and throughout the postseason. And I feel like that's really helped us through like the tough losses we've had and the close games. That's what's helped us come out on top, and I think that's going to help carry us through. So
yeah. Okay, we're gonna tiptoe through this next question because I know that you guys have been focusing on Lake City, but Coeur d'Alene is on deck. What do you know anything, if you know anything, about the Vikings?
Just know they're very well coached every year, and they're fighters. We played them 3 years ago, or 2 years ago.
Sophomore season.
Yeah, our sophomore season. We played them. They were tough, but we're gonna prepare for them.
Is that a tough road trip? I mean, to go all the way up there. What are the challenges of that?
I mean, it's about what 8-9 hour drive. It's gonna be a little
there.
rough, you know. Try to fall asleep on the bus. Just try to get your good sleep and get your good energy up and be ready.
How unique is that from just traveling kind of around the Treasure Valley? Those short, 20-minute bus rides at most usually. How different is this?
Well, it's going to make a huge difference. We're going to have to make sure, that we're kind of just like staying on top of things, making sure we don't get any lackadaisical or anything when we're on that bus ride, and just, I don't know, make sure that we keep that fire that we built into these past couple of games and bring it up there, Coeur d'Alene.
We've caught so many of your guys' highlights this year. There's 4 of you with mics on, so I'm just going to go around the horn here for a second. And if you don't have one, it's fine. Maybe it's still yet to come. What's your favorite moment of the season so far? And it might have been, I know you guys do fun stuff like play volleyball and stuff during the summer or whatever. Like, what's been your favorite moment that stands out to you about this team? It could be one of your touchdowns too.
Touchdown. Shoot. They're just like throughout the entire everything about football. Shoot, man.
KJ, you got one? Do you think of one? I mean, that kickoff return is pretty sweet. And
yeah, that one's up there. But I'd say just being with my teammates after the Eagle win.
Yeah. That
was a big win for us. Early on in the season after we lost to Rocky.
Yep.
And
you needed it.
Yeah, we needed it bad, and we came even closer. We were brothers before, but we bonded even more after that. It was just a fun time after that game.
Yeah. You got one?
I'd say BSU camp was probably my favorite moment. We were going against D1 athletes all across the valley.
Oh man, I remember that, man. Bishop Gorman, Eastside Catholic. Those guys rolled in with some dudes. D. Scott Jr. going to Ohio State. Man, I kind of forgot about that until right now. Yeah, why are you guys smiling? What are you laughing about over there? What do you got?
They were just good. They were good.
They were good.
Yeah.
But it made you better, right? It prepared.
It was a good experience.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. How excited are you guys to get back to work? I mean, do you right now after this, you gonna take the day off? You gonna watch football tomorrow, or what's it like?
Hungry.
Right after this, I'm getting on my phone and watching film.
I knew you guys. I knew this. Yeah. Well, gentlemen, I know it's a long trip up north. I know it's been a long day for you, but continue to build off this thing. And I personally really appreciate all Treasure Valley quarterfinals, because then it guarantees us Treasure Valley teams in the state championship. So head on up north, and I know you guys will do us proud. So yeah, tell Coach Benedict said hi too. So does the rest of the staff for that.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, guys, we appreciate it. Oh, what was that?
Hey, B.
Okay.
Hey, Coach B.
Hey, B.
What up, Coach
Anybody
B?
else? A shout out anybody else?
Hey, nah.
We walked the fine line. We've done so good so far.
Yeah.
So we're going to cut it off right there. Mountain View headed out on the road next week. That is our final Friday night football of the season. Hold on just a second, though, because Danny's telling me we might have a final here. Oh, my goodness. Donovan Estrada 71 yards to the house for Nampa on 4th and 3. Gives Nampa a 55-48 lead with 28 seconds to go, and it went final. Nampa marches on to the state playoffs. Donovan Estrada saves the day, and with that, we wrap up another season of Friday Night Football. Thanks for watching, everybody, and good luck to all the teams left alive in the state playoffs. See you next year. Bye. Good job, guys. Awesome. Good job, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah. By the way, seriously. I heard you're the best. I heard you're the best talker. I heard you're the best talker, which is saying something. Because I remember talking, KJ, no offense, KJ, but I sat down, chatted with you, and I'm like, for a high school kid, you know, sometimes like you gotta feel your way through an interview. You're great prior to the season, man. You like good, thoughtful answers, enlightening. I couldn't use enough of your stuff. It was good stuff, man. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So.
You want to grab a picture real quick?
Yeah, sure. Huddle back around the desk real quick. We snap off the pick. You just toss them up there. That works. Yeah. Oh, careful, Danny.
Fine. Everything's great.
Horns up.
Yeah. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Senior picture right
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Yeah. Was it hard to get over here, guys? Or like, how much time did you have? Like, you run out of the locker room? Did you get a moment? Oh, you guys got food first? Oh.
We had running clock in the second half, so we were
I thought somebody said they didn't do running clocks in the in playoffs. Yeah. No, please do the running clock. Didn't it? I think Coeur d'Alene beat them. Was it 58-0?
It was 45.
45, and that was like.
It was 50.
Like,
It was 51.
And it was like 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago or something.
Lake City beat Madison too.
Yeah.
Lake
Was
City
it?
beat
Didn't it?
Madison.
Was
Season,
wasn't Madison like 2-7?
Yeah.
And they beat Madison beat Highland too.
Wait.
Oh, really? Okay, so that's good then.
No,
Yeah.
Highland beat Madison.
Do you know that score?
What?
The Madison Highland game?
Danny, do we know Madison Highland? Do you know the Madison Highland score?
I thought Madison beat
31-13 Highland.
Wow.
Oh yeah, and Madison beat them.
They were tied at halftime.
Oh, that's tonight.
Highland beat.
Oh, I'll talk about that.
Highland beats 4. They come to our house.